maybe the most shocking thing we saw last week, a tech CEO apologized.
Big tech just entered the hoodie recession.
All right, besties, before we went into the weekend, before we had Sleep In Sunday, Jack and I saw some pretty conflicting news.
Yeah, we saw news headlines that were the opposite of each other. First, we had the big government jobs report for October, which showed that the economy added 260,000 jobs last month.
Jack, what recession?
But we also saw a headline last week that dozens of big tech companies announced huge layoffs.
Oh, that recession.
To name a few of those huge layoffs, Lyft is laying off 13% of their workers. Open Door is laying off 18% of their workers.
This is painful.
It's sad to see.
And according to some PFWTM, some people familiar with the matter, half of Twitter's 7,000 workers were laid off on Friday.
Also, Amazon, Microsoft, and Apple, they all announced various levels of hiring freeze.
Add it all up, we're talking over 100,000 tech workers have been laid off this year.
So it's not a full recession yet. We added 260,000 jobs last month.
But we do have a tech session or a hoodie recession. But besties, here's what surprised us the most about the layoffs. It was one layoff in particular.
It was from Stripe, which is the second most valuable U.S. startup.
Stripe, not Square, Stripe, a payments company worth around like $100 billion.
Stripe is laying off 14% of Stripers, or over 1,000 people.
But here was the fascinating part. The co-CEOs of Stripe, the Collison brothers, took an unusual step of explaining the layoffs last week.
They explained the layoffs by apologizing.
Yeah, like they didn't blame the uncertain macroeconomic environment, quote unquote, out there.
They didn't blame the volatile markets that we're all navigating.
No, the co-CEOs of Stripe, two brothers, blamed themselves.
It is rare that two tech CEOs would admit to making a big mistake.
It's rare two brothers wouldn't blame each other, Jack, to be honest. You got five brothers. You'd be blaming each other all the time, right?
I got three brothers, but
like,
I hear your point.
Tuck did it. Tuck did it. Teddy did it. Teddy did it.
Here's what the Collison brothers said in a joint statement.
In our view, we made two very consequential mistakes.
One for each brother.
Yeah.
First, they said they were too optimistic about the growth of the internet.
And second, they underestimated the risks of the downturn.
Now, on the one hand, Elon Musk literally locked the office at Twitter on Friday so that he could email the staff whether they'd been fired or not.
If you worked at Twitter, you got an email saying if you were still going to be there on Monday.
On the other hand, Stripe CEOs apologized in a letter taking responsibility for mistakes and dealing with great compassion.
So, Jack, what's the takeaway for all our buddies who we're thinking of in tech?
Big tech is now big-ish tech. And then there's Apple.
Yetis, remember the FANG stocks like FAANG, like big tech? So many tech companies that were worth over $1 trillion.
It was shocking how many tech companies were in the 10-digit club.
Yeah, you got Facebook, Apple, Amazon.
Or is it 12 digits? I think it's actually 12 digits.
I just stopped counting after 6, to be honest. Those were the OG 4 of big tech of FANG.
But tech's not so big anymore. After this brutal market downturn, even mighty Amazon is now worth less than $1 trillion.
In fact, get this, Yetis. Apple is now worth more than all 3 of those tech companies combined.
We repeat, Apple's market cap is now bigger than Facebook's, Amazon's, and Google's combined.
Now, Microsoft, they've fared well too.
But we really don't have big tech anymore.
No, the way Jack and I see it, we have big-ish tech. And then we have Apple.
Thanks for T-boying with us. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel for Pop Biz every day.